It felt really good working with this team and bringing their visions to life for virtual production. And I got to work side by side with them through the whole process and walk them through not just what it takes to build them, but how it will all work in virtual production.
That's what Luke kept saying. He kept being like, he's very professional. I was like, okay, like, why are you saying that? But now I understand.
Like, yeah, you're very thorough. It's good.
Yep, I have one mode. Not only were they super excited about the end result, but they were really confident and ready to get in front of the LED volume and film this. And this isn't just a simple task. This is 50 plus NFL players in 5 days in front of this screen and filming this whole story for their media week. This is high pressure stuff. And so for them to feel confident and not have to worry about anything was our top priority. So this is the story of how we worked with the Chicago Bears. I had just finished scoping this massive project with T-Mobile, but they had some internal shifts and the project ended up getting delayed. But then I got the call to work with the Chicago Bears for Media Week. And now, this wasn't just a little thing. This agency that was working with them, Banner Studios, is a Chicago-based digital content studio that specializes in video production. This was such a wonderful collaboration. We teamed up to bring virtual production on location at the Bears HQ in Chicago. They needed to build out 7 locations to film with all of the players on the team, and we had 5 weeks to build all 7. Because when we started the project, the deadline of 5 weeks kind of felt impossible. 7 locations fully detailed in that time. But it all really started to come together. And so we had 3 people working on the locations. And what we did is we sent a photographer out to get skyline photos. And then on the ground in the football stadium, getting photos of all these angles. And what we do with these types of scenes, especially when you need photorealism, in a very short amount of time, it's not like a video game where you can go in and explore and see every angle, but we know the angle we're going to be shooting from. So we plan for that, and we use a method called projection mapping, where we make simple geometry and project those fully detailed high resolution photos, and then just kind of pop out the details and mold it to work from the angle that we're shooting at. And doing this allowed us to create these beautiful photorealistic locations with forest overgrowth and these buildings and all this detail that if we tried to model by hand, we would have been in there for months. But we were able to pull it off in just 5 weeks. And it turned out amazing. So the result of all of this hard work after the 5 weeks was done, looking back at it, it was really rewarding to get to work side by side with these 2 directors and take their vision and bring it to life in Unreal Engine for virtual production. One of the scenes was Lower Wacker in Chicago. And when I build something, I don't just like to do it at a surface level and make it look nice. That's part of it. But I got to dive in and look at the history of Chicago. And Lower Wacker is one that really stood out to me because it is a surface street, but then there is an underground version of it that rides below it. But this one actually has 3 levels deep underground. And it's not the only road in Chicago. There's actually a whole connection of these underground roads that were used as service roads to make sure that the city streets were clean and didn't have all those extra vehicles on it, but it's turned into something entirely different in modern times. And watching these documentaries about it and looking at the architecture, how it was built and why they used it, man, it changed the art for me of when I was in there building it in the virtual environment. And I mean, the end result speaks for itself. It was a passion project on each one of these. We have these little stories about it. But for me, that was my favorite one, was Lower Wacker. And the result of this, going back and forth with it, was at the end, not only were they super excited about the end result, but they were really confident and ready to get in front of the LED volume and film this. This is high pressure stuff. And so for them to feel confident and not have to worry about anything was our top priority when wrapping up this project.